Myeloid neoplasms. Myeloid neoplasms are classified into three main categories: acute myeloid leukemia, myelodysplastic syndrome, and myeloproliferative disorders. These disorders include chronic myelogenous leukemia (CML), polycythemia vera, essential thrombosis, and primary myelofibrosis. Myeloid neoplasm is basically a heterogeneous group of neoplasms that originate from stem cells which are present in the bone marrow, and this myeloid neoplasm is characterized by the altered hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis is a process by which red blood cells, WBCs, and platelets they form. First category of the myeloid leukemia was acute myeloid leukemia. This AML characterized by the immature blast cells. Blast cells are basically immature cells. In AML, blast cells accumulate and they suppress the hematopoiesis. It means RBCs, platelets, and WBCs they form, but their number is less. As compared to myelodysplastic syndrome is characterized by ineffective hematopoiesis. It means abnormal red blood cells, abnormal platelets, or abnormal WBCs they will form. Next category of the myeloid neoplasm is myeloproliferative syndrome. Proliferation word shows that there is more proliferation of myeloid series, and myeloid series it normally produce red blood cells, WBCs, and platelets. In myeloproliferative syndrome, differentiated RBCs, WBCs, and platelets are produced, but their number is more than normal number. And sometimes in myeloproliferative syndrome, bone marrow goes into the spent phase in which marrow undergo fibrosis, and sometimes it is transformed into acute leukemias, which is characterized by abrupt and severe symptoms. This figure shows that how stem cells differentiate into red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. Actually, stem cells, they are present in the bone marrow. It differentiates into two series, lymphoid series, which form lymphocytes and natural killer cells, and myeloid series, which form such precursors which differentiate into red blood cells, myeloblast precursor which differentiate into white blood cells, specifically granulocytes, and granulocytes involve neutrophils, basophils, and eosinophils, which can be memorized through the mnemonic NAB, N-E-B NAB, and they differentiate into monoblast. Monoblast form monocytes, and these cells are characterized by kidney-shaped nucleus, which ultimately differentiate into macrophages in the tissues, and these myeloid series it differentiate into megakaryoblast, and megakaryoblast they ultimately synthesize platelets. It means that stem cell they differentiate into red blood cells, neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils, monocytes, and platelets, and all these series they form through the myeloid series. Now we shall discuss the types of myeloid neoplasm one by one. First type of myeloid neoplasm is acute myeloid leukemia. Acute, it shows that symptoms are abrupt and aggressive symptoms. Myeloid, it shows that this leukemia originates from myeloid series. As I have told you that myeloid series, it forms red blood cells, WBCs, platelets, and monocytes. This myeloid leukemia is characterized by the presence of blast cells. Blast cells are immature cells, and these cells are more than 20%, so they replace the normal bone marrow elements. So bone marrow undergo failure, and this failure will cause anemia due to decreased red blood cells, neutropenia due to decreased WBCs, specifically neutrophils, and thrombocytopenia due to decreased platelets. AML patients usually present in their late 60s. as myeloid leukemia is characterized by the blast cells which are immature cells, it means that in AML there is some abnormality in differentiation of the precursors. So AML is characterized by different genetic abnormalities. First, there is translocation between chromosome 8 and 21. This translocation will disrupt the genes that are required for normal hematopoiesis. Second, there is T1517 translocation, and this gene normally it affects the retinoic acid receptor. When this translocation occurs, retinoic acid receptor undergo dysfunctioning, and this receptor normally it cause the differentiation of granulocytes, and abnormal retinoic acid receptors it disrupt the differentiation of granulocytes. As a result, abnormal or immature blast cells are present in the acute myeloid leukemia. Third mutation in AML is FLT3 mutation, and fourth one is epigenetic mutation. Epigenetic mutation, it disrupts the normal DNA methylation and histone modification. In AML, when we examine the bone marrow, it is characterized by more than 20% blast cells which are immature cells, and these blast cells are normally myeloblast and monoblast. Myeloblast, they have delicate chromatin and they are having R rods. R rods are basically xorophilic granules, and these myeloblasts are peroxidase positive. Second blast are the monoblast. They lack R rods but they are esterase positive. It means in bone marrow more than 20% blast cells are present which suppress the normal hematopoiesis. In blood, leukocytosis is present. More than 100,000 leukocytes are found in blood. Normally, blast cells which are synthesized in the bone marrow release into circulation. But in some cases, blast cells, they are present in bone marrow but they are absent from the blood circulation. So blast cells when absent from the blood, this condition is called aleukemic leukemia. And clinically, these patients present with the symptoms of suppressed hematopoiesis, as patients present with bleeding due to decreased platelet count. They present with infection because of neutropenia and they are paler because of anemia. And when we examine their bone marrow, there are blast cells. These are blast cells which can be myeloblast and can be monoblast. These are the characteristic feature of the AML, which is characterized by the presence of the blast cells which are more than 20% and they undergo suppressed hematopoiesis, and hematopoiesis suppression, it causes bleeding, infection and anemia. Next type of myeloid neoplasm is myelodysplastic syndrome. Myelo means it originates from myeloid series. Dysplasia is a precancerous lesion which can convert into cancerous lesion. And this myelodysplastic syndrome, MDS, is characterized by ineffective hematopoiesis. It means hematopoiesis is abnormal. Normally, hematopoietic stem cell, it synthesizes red blood cells, WBCs, platelets, and these cells differentiate and release in circulation. But in myelodysplastic syndrome, which is characterized by dysplasia, hematopoietic stem cell is abnormal and it forms abnormal blast cells which differentiate into abnormal red blood cells. Myelodysplastic syndrome can be primary. It means that it is of unknown origin and it can be secondary to chemotherapy or radiotherapy. In patients having MDS, bone marrow is hypercellular, but there are dysplastic cells and these dysplastic cells will not differentiate into normal RBCs, WBCs and platelets. It means that they will not perform their function, so it leads to pancytopenia. And as I have told you, it is a dysplasia which is a precancerous lesion. It means that this MDS syndrome, it can convert into leukemia, which is AML, acute myeloid leukemia. As I have told you that abnormal blast cells are formed which differentiate into abnormal red blood cells, abnormal white blood cells and abnormal platelets. Abnormal erythroid series, it results in ring sideroblast. Ring sideroblasts are basically erythrocytes which have iron accumulation. Abnormal white blood cells are called pseudo-Pelger-Huth cells. In white blood cells, neutrophils, if they have only two nuclear lobes, they are called pseudo-Pelger-Huth cells. Abnormal platelet precursors differentiate into abnormal platelets which are having nuclear lobes. These patients also present with ineffective hematopoiesis, symptoms such as anemia, infection and bleeding, and these patients present in their late 70s. It means, in short, myelodysplastic syndrome is characterized by ineffective hematopoiesis, and there are abnormal blast cells which differentiate into abnormal white blood cells called the pseudo-Pelger-Huth cells, abnormal platelets called Pohnball megakaryocytes, and abnormal red blood cells called ring erythroblast, sideroblast, and it can transform into AML, which is a cancer, because myelodysplastic syndrome, it is a precancerous lesion. Next category of the myeloid neoplasm is myeloproliferative disorder. Its name shows myelo means it originates from myeloid precursors. Proliferative means that there is more proliferation of myeloid precursors. As I have told you that myeloid precursors, they differentiate into red blood cells. If more differentiation into red blood cells, it leads to polycythemia vera. This precursor also differentiate into granulocytes which include NAB, neutrophil, eosinophils and basophils. If myeloid precursors more differentiate into NAB or granulocytes, it leads to chronic myeloid leukemia, and if this precursor more differentiate into platelets, it leads to essential thrombocytosis. Normally, the growth of myeloid precursors and differentiation into red blood cells, into WBCs and platelets is regulated. But if there is any mutation that continuously activates tyrosine kinase, it leads to growth factor independent proliferation of myeloid precursor is in any of these cell types, and it leads to myeloproliferative disorder. First category of chronic myeloproliferative disorder is chronic myelogenous leukemia. This is characterized by increased production of granulocytes. In chronic myelogenous leukemia, there is T922 mutation. It means translocation between chromosome 9 and 22. It generates Philadelphia chromosome, and this chromosome increases the tyrosine kinase activity, and as we know, tyrosine kinase is growth promoter. So in chronic myelogenous leukemia, there is more growth and survival of the cells. As in chronic myelogenous leukemia, there is more production of granulocytes which include neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. So in bone marrow, which is hypercellular, granulocytic precursors are more, and these precursors are called sea blue histiocytes because their cytoplasm is sea blue color. As shown in the figure, this is the granulocytic precursor which produce more in the chronic myelogenous leukemia, and these precursors are characterized by sea blue cytoplasm, so they are called sea blue histiocytes. In blood, leukocytosis, it means more than 100,000 leukocytes are present, and spleen is generally enlarged. The reason behind splenomegaly is that normally red blood cells, they are synthesized in bone marrow through myeloid precursors. As I have told you that myeloid precursors, they differentiate into red blood cells, granulocytes and platelets. In CML, myeloid precursors, they more differentiate into CML as compared to red blood cells and platelets. So number of platelets and red blood cells, they decrease, but number of granulocytes in CML increase. And when RBCs they decrease. As a compensation, spleen starts to synthesize RBCs and it results in splenomegaly, which is massive. And this disease present in children usually in 5 to 6th decade. Clinically, these patients present with splenomegaly. They complain that there is dragging sensation in their abdomen, and this sensation is basically due to splenomegaly. Just look at this. This is spleen and it's going to enlarge towards lower side, towards lower right side. And they also experience left upper quadrant pain, and it is due to the splenic infarct. And this CML is diagnosed through the PCR based test and through the BCR-ABL fusion genes. Normally, CML is characterized by a slow progressive stage, but sometimes symptoms get severe and it comes into accelerated phase and sometimes into blast crisis, where abnormal number of myeloid blast cells they synthesize. In short, CML is myeloproliferative disorder, which is characterized by more production of granulocytes. So granulocyte number increase in the bone marrow, and these are called C-blue histiocytes. As RBCs decrease, so extramedullary hematopoiesis, it causes massive splenomegaly, and patient present with dragging sensation in their abdomen and left upper quadrant pain. Next category of myeloproliferative disorder is polycythemia vera, which is characterized by increased production of red blood cells. Normally, as I have already told you that hematopoietic stem cell, it synthesizes red blood cells, but this synthesis is regulated by erythropoietin. Erythropoietin, it activates JAK2 cells, and this JAK2 activate hematopoietic stem cell which synthesize red blood cell. But in polycythemia vera, JAK2 undergo mutation and it remains activated for long period of time, so there is no need of erythropoietin to activate JAK2. Activated JAK2, it continuously activate hematopoietic stem cell to synthesize RBCs. As a result, number of RBCs increase and this results in polycythemia vera. Normally, hematocrit or number of RBCs in the blood is 45%, but in polycythemia vera, hematocrit increases to 60%. Sometimes, due to excessive proliferation of bone marrow cells to red blood cells, bone marrow cells start to die and ultimately results in scar formation. This is called myelofibrosis. It means that in polycythemia vera, bone marrow goes into the spent phase where it undergoes fibrosis. When red blood cells increase, hematocrit increase, it results in hypertension because more red blood cells exert pressure on the vessels. So it results in hypertension, and hypertension results in headache and blur vision, because hypertension mainly affect the end arterioles of the retina and kidney. So patient present with blur vision, and during late phase, when in polycythemia vera bone marrow undergo in spent phase, it results in anemia that causes fatigue and dizziness, and patients also present with pruritus, which is due to the release of histamine, and they also present with gout because cell turnover it increases, and increased production of purine results in hyperuricemia and it results in gout. In short, polycythemia vera is basically increased production of red blood cells, and it is unregulated production, and sometimes bone marrow it goes into spent phase, and clinically these patients present with headache which is due to hypertension, blur vision when hypertension affect the end arterioles of retina, and pruritus due to the histamine, and gout because of increased cell turnover. And in polycythemia vera, hematocrit increase up to 60%. Next category of the myeloproliferative disorder is essential thrombosis, which is increased production of platelets from the bone marrow. Normally, platelet production from the bone marrow is regulated through erythropoietin, But if there is JAK2 mutation, this results in unregulated growth independent of erythropoietin, and it results in increased production of platelets. In bone marrow, elevated megakaryocytes will be present. In peripheral smear, abnormally large platelets will be present, and as platelets, they cause thrombosis. So it results in DVT, that is deep vein thrombosis, portal and hepatic vein thrombosis, myocardial infarction when thrombos form in the coronary arteries, and erythromelalgia. Erythromelalgia is basically characterized by burning pain of the hands and feet caused by small arteriolar occlusion by platelet aggregation. In short, myeloproliferative disorder is characterized by chronic myelogenous leukemia in which there is more production of granulocytes, which are sea blue histiocytes, polycythemia vera in which there is more production of red blood cells, and essential thrombosis in which there is more production of platelets. And this myeloproliferative disorder is characterized by unregulated growth of cells, means growth factor independent growth of myeloid precursors into any of these cell types.